All right, Shalom. First off, I'm going to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Yahweh being the Heavenly Father's true name, Yahweh Shai being the name of His only begotten Son. Double honors unto the elders and the apostles, a great millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all you walking throughout the four corners of the earth, continuing to push and do the works in truth and in sincerity. All right, this is Brother Mashah Mayum, one of the men here with the GMS branch out here in the morning camp, here with another quick lesson through the Spirit, and pretty much going into how this wisdom, okay, is our strength. All right. This wisdom that we have, okay, of these scriptures and the true understanding, all right, is our strength and our defense. Okay. From all of Esau Edom's lies, okay, from all of the false philosophies that he's pushing out here, okay. Us trusting in these wisdom and these scriptures is what keeps our mind fortified, okay, and you know, and free from all these lies, okay, and from being deceived, right? So let's start off with the book of Job, chapter 12 and verse 13, and it reads, and this speaking of the Most High, with him is wisdom and strength, he hath counsel and understanding, right? And I'm reading in the NLT, but true wisdom and power are found in the Most High, counsel and understanding are his, okay? You know, so counsel and understanding and wisdom is all of the Most High, all right? And that's, you know, this is the true wisdom and understanding that we've received, okay, from the Lord, all right? Passed down, you know, from the elders of our elders and our apostles, okay, and their elders, right? You know, the scripture says in Baruch too, oh happy are we Israel, for things that are pleasing unto the Most High, okay, have been made known unto us, right? And what's that? That's what the true wisdom and understanding of these scriptures on how to live, okay, and apply these things, all right? This is what has delivered us, okay, and strengthened us from all these lies, okay, and false philosophies that have been pushed here in Babylon, you know. Because also too, let's get actually, let's get Proverbs chapter 24 and verse 5, and it reads, a wise man is strong, yea, a man of knowledge increaseth strength. All right. You know, so it says what? A wise man is strong, okay? And not just any old wise man, but a wise man that's fearing Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, okay? And that's applying these scriptures, you know, and living according to these scriptures, all right? You know? Once again, why? Because your mind is fortified, okay? And you're not easily swayed away, okay, from all these different doctrines and false philosophies, you know, that are pushed out here, you know? All right, because also too, and we also understand too, you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, right? The Lord sending His Son. Okay, let's get this in 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 30. This is First Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 30, and it reads, but of him are ye in Hamashiach Yahushai, who of the Most High is made unto us wisdom and righteousness and sanctification and redemption. Okay. So you know, Yahweh Bashim Shai, and the scriptures say he comes in the volume of the book. Okay. You know, so he is our wisdom. Okay. The scriptures also say the word was made flesh. Okay. You know. All right. So us applying these scriptures to the best of our ability. I mean, living according to these scriptures. Okay. You know, molding ourselves, you know, to the image of Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, right? Or should I say, sculpting ourselves to the image of Yahweh Bashim Yahshua to the best of our ability, right? That's what continues to what keep us strong, okay? And I'm gonna back that up because what did Yahweh Shai say himself, right? This is Matthew chapter 7 and verse 24, And it reads, and this is the words of the Lord himself, right? This is Matthew chapter 7 and verse 24. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I would liken him unto a wise man, right? Which built his house upon a rock, and the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. Okay? You know, so what? When all the destruction and things like that come, okay? And it's a whole lot of great wrath, okay, that the Lord is bringing, right? The elect, the ones that have what? Applied this wisdom, okay, and that have been made into the image of Yahweh Shai, right? Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, okay, they're going to be preserved from the destruction to come, okay? And the way it describes it, what did it just say? I would liken him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock, okay? So once again, that's a strong foundation, all right? You won't be swayed away. You won't be taken, okay? You won't be overcome by fear, right? You know, this is ultimately the end result for the elect, okay? That's why it says what? That Proverbs 24 we just read, a wise man is strong, okay? Strong in what? Yahweh Bashim Ashah, in the wisdom of the Lord, okay? Not in any wisdom of ourselves, right? Because real quick too, let's get Proverbs chapter 21 and jumping down to verse 30. This is Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 30, and it reads, there is no wisdom, nor understanding, nor counsel against the Lord. Okay? The NLT too, it says, no human wisdom, nor understanding, or plan can stand against the Lord. All right? So right there is showing you, this is speaking of the wisdom of the world, okay? So any wisdom that is not of the Lord, okay, that's not according to these scriptures, right, or that isn't these scriptures, plain and simple, hey, it's not going to stand against the Lord, okay? And we know the Lord is the one that's bringing the judgment and the destruction to come. So if you're not applying and living according to his ways, you're going to get destroyed, all right? Only the ones that are living, okay, according to the words of the Lord, those the elect, all right, those are the ones that are going to be preserved, okay, and that are going to continue to remain strong in the times to come. All right, you know, because also too, let's get this real quick. This is Proverbs chapter 24 and verse 10, and it reads, if thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small. All right. And that's what a lot of these people out here are going to do, okay? They're going to faint in the day of adversity. Okay, why? Because ultimately, hey, their minds aren't fortified, okay? In the wisdom of the Lord, okay? Really, speaking only, you know, to you Israelites, okay? As well as you speckled birds, okay? Because ultimately, this wisdom and this truth is for you, all right? But even these other people out here, hey, you know, they're gonna get be caught up in the destruction to come, okay? But what did it say for the elect? Let's get Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 6. This is Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 6, and it reads, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. Okay, and once again, well, wisdom, the wisdom of these scriptures, okay? The wisdom of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. All right. And that word, once again, that word stability, when you go into it, is what? The Hebrew word, matter of fact, let's go ahead and do it again, right? The word stability is the word amawana, right? Firmness, fidelity, steadfastness, and when you go into the root, okay, faithfulness, trusting, okay, I'm a one, all right, which is what ultimately faith. That's how you say faith in the Hebrew, okay. So this is what's gonna what keep the elect faithful and trusting in Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, all right. Your mind is going to be fortified and trusting in Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, Okay, you're not gonna faint. You're not gonna be perplexed. Okay, in fear, scatterbrain. Okay, looking, just panicking. For help. No, we're gonna trust in Yahweh Bashim Yashah. All right, the elect are gonna trust in Yahweh Bashim Yashah. You know, um, from there, let's get Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 19. Another precept showing you, that wisdom, right? Well, we'll just read it. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 19, and it reads, "Wisdom strengtheneth the wise more than 10 mighty men which are in the city." Okay? It said, "Wisdom strengtheneth the wise more than 10 mighty men which are in the city." You know, ultimately, why? Because applying these things, hey, the Lord is with you. Okay? Like the scriptures also say, if the Lord be for you, who can be against you? All right? You know? You know? When we read when you read the story of Joshua, okay, they were able to take down what? Those Canaanites, okay? Joshua and Caleb, they were, fortified in their minds, and they had faith in Yahweh Bashim Ashad that they were able to do it. Okay? You know? I believe it was I know it's the book of Joshua where he said to the Lord said to him, fear not, for I am with thee, thou mighty man of valor. Okay, roughly paraphrasing, and that's the spirit the elect are in. Okay, the men the Lord in the times that we're in right now. Okay, the men the Lord believe that they will overcome through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Al Shah. Once again, as long as we're applying these things that are written, right? From there, let's get the book of Sirach, chapter 6, and jumping down to verse 22. And it reads, "For wisdom is according to her name, and she is not manifest unto many." Right? Speaking of wisdom, right? Verse 23, "Give ear, my son, receive my advice, and refuse not my counsel, and put thy feet into her fetters, and thy neck into her chain. Bow down thy shoulder and bear her, and be not grieved with her bonds." Right? Because hey, we're supposed to be what? Our minds are supposed to be what's that word? The apostle brings it out a lot. Man. Um Institutionalized, okay, by the wisdom of Yahweh Bashim Al Shah. Right? I believe that's the word he brings out. Salakia, if that's not the word. But hey, basically our minds is supposed to be taken by nothing else but by this wisdom. Okay. But reading on, verse 26, "Come unto her with thy whole heart, and keep her ways with all thy power." Verse 27, "Search and seek, and she shall be made known unto thee. And when thou hast got hold of her, let her not go. For at the last thou shalt find her rest, and thou shalt be turned to thy joy." All right. Verse 29, then shall her fetters be a strong defense for thee, and her chains a robe of glory. Okay? Because applying these things ultimately what? It's going to preserve you, okay, from the death and the destruction to come. All right? And you're not gonna be taken, okay, by the wrath of this devil when he comes down. Okay? Your mind is gonna be stayed upon Yahweh Bashim Al Shah. A lot of these people, they're gonna fold, okay, and they're gonna what? Get sea hip, okay, and bow down to Esau Edom, okay, but the elect once again are going to be standing firm, okay, in the words of Yahweh Bashim Al Shah, okay, and trusting in Yahweh Bashim Al Shah, So, but that's the point, just showing you, why this wisdom is our strength, okay, and our defense, All right. And Lord's will that was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakodash. Double honors unto the elders and the apostles, a great millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all you walking through the four corners of the earth, continuing to push into the works and truth and sincerity. Once again, I hope it was edifying. Shalom.